What's happening, everybody? My name is Christian, and this is the final part 7 of the Tennessee Nightingale solo tutorial. If you missed part 6, you can click that link right above, and that will take you to it so you can get all caught up, so you can have the entire thing down if that is what you want to do. This part is one of the more notey parts of the section. It's really not anything crazy. It's mostly just straight arpeggios. So if you are comfortable with arpeggios already, minor 7 arpeggios, mostly, that's honestly mostly what it is. If you're already good with that, then you should be pretty comfortable with this section because it's really not anything more than some arpeggios. So let's get to the chord progression first, so all these shapes will make sense. You can kind of see how everything works. We just finished doing this whole thing, we just finished doing that. And the chord during that part was C minor 7, okay? So getting into this new section with this big arpeggio section, we just do this, okay? Just kind of C minor 7, D minor 7, and then we hit the E minor 7. So the E minor 7's the main chord that starts this whole section. It's pretty standard, just 1, 5, 7, 3, pretty standard voicing. Then I play a B minor 7 in the same position, and that's just same sort of thing, 1, 5, 7, 3, 5. Then I play a D, I might have said B, I meant B flat minor 7, to make sure I get that right. So E flat minor 7, B flat minor 7, then a D major 9, but voice in a way that does not have a third, so it's 1, 5, 7, 9, okay? Then after that, it's an A flat minor 7. Okay, so that was D major 9, A flat minor 7. Then I have this, it's like a C sharp. I honestly don't really know the actual term, maybe C sharp 11, or sus 4, sus 9, something like that. It's really just root, flat 7, 9, and then 4. So it's a very, very common chord. It's kind of like B with C sharp in the bass. So I hear this chord all the time. So that's what it is. And then I have just a G dominant. Pretty standard voicing, just 1, flat 7, 3, 5. And then a B. And this is in a voicing where the 5th is in the bass, so 5, 3, 1. Then I go to a standard B dominant. Then I go to, I think I do this, like an inversion of the B dominant as well. This is B, B7, and that's 1, 5, 7, 3. And then this is also B7 in an inversion, so that's 3, 7, 1, 5, right? Then I play just a bunch of A7, and that looks like this, just A7, and this is with the 5th in the bass, so 5, 1, 3, flat 7. Then I play it with another inversion. A7 again, that's 7, 3, 5, 1. Then I eventually make it to the normal root position, A7, 1, 5, 7, 3. And then I just kind of do that, just add these two other notes to it. So if I play that whole thing, you can kind of see what it sounds like. So coming from the C minor of the previous video, we have, here we go. That's pretty much it. So one thing about this first little bit that I like, and kind of why I did this progression in the first place, it's kind of, the chords aren't really that weird. It's really this D major 9 that kind of comes out of nowhere. But the reason why I played this is what I was thinking about. I wanted a chromatic line moving on the B string. So if you look at all these chords, there's my E flat minor 7. That's the note I have on the B string, right? G flat. Then the next chord, the B flat minor 7, has the F natural right there. So it just moved down 1 fret. Alright? Then the D major 9 has the E natural, continuing the half step motion downward. And then the A flat has another down fret. So that's kind of what I was thinking about. You can hear that note moving down like that. If you are wanting some kind of progression that's maybe a little, you know, the chords are not really traditionally played together, have something like that going on. Just like a little melody, something that allows them all to make sense together. So that's sort of what's going on right here. At least just for those first couple chords. And then the C sharp dominant, that sus kind of sound. This sound right here, that's G dominant to B major with the fifth in the bass. That's a very common sound that if you've ever done the or studied classical music, you would learn this progression as what's called an augmented sixth chord. I'm not going to talk about why it's called that because it's kind of dumb, but it's very common because what you do, like let's say you're in the key of B and your 5 chord is F sharp, right? It's very common to go up a half step from that, which would be G sharp or G dominant, and then resolve not to F sharp, but resolve to the B with the fifth in the bass. This is called a cadential 6/4 or cadential 1 chord with the fifth in the bass. So if you ever study classical music theory, you would experience that a lot. It's extremely common. So I don't want to talk too much about it because it's kind of silly. But that's sort of what's going on right there. I almost put it in there just because I thought it was funny. At the time, I was kind of in the midst of studying all that stuff, so I just thought it was kind of funny, so I wanted to put it in there. But that's that chord progression. So now let's talk about what I am playing in the lead over all of those chords. Okay, so let's talk about the first little piece off of the E flat minor 7 chord. Actually, it's pretty much just an E flat minor arpeggio with a couple other notes. So that looks like this. That's the shape, the whole thing. So I'm playing what looks like an E minor with 1, 2, flat 3, 5, 1. Very, very common shape. I think I've already played it in this solo, but it kind of flows real nicely if you're doing economy picking or with your fingers. I do it the exact same thing pretty much 2 times. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3 of E flat minor. Then when I get here, I just hit a little A flat, B flat. So that would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the E flat minor scale. After I hit that, go back down to this G flat and then walk up what feels like, almost feels like a B flat minor 7 arpeggio. So there's the G flat. Then I hit the 7, 1, 3, 5 of B flat minor 7. So that whole run. And then I slide up to the A flat right there. And that begins the next section. So little trick, I'm throwing in an arpeggio of another chord during the E flat. So it's E flat, I'm thinking E flat minor, but I am throwing in a B flat minor arpeggio right there. And we've talked about this previously. If you watch some of the other videos, I've definitely talked about this, where if you're playing minor, so E flat minor, go to its 5 and also play minor. So when you do that, so that's like E flat minor 7, right? But you play B flat minor 7 in your line. So you can play like start a little bit of E flat, something like that, and then kick into B flat minor. And what you do is you end up getting a bunch of these interesting notes because, if I'm thinking B flat minor 7, this would be like 1, 3, 5, 7 of B flat. But if I was thinking about it over E flat, it would be 5, 7, 9, 4. So notice we get some kind of interesting notes. We get 7, which is nice. We get 9 and 4, 4 being one of my favorite sounds. So without even having to think about all those fancy notes, you can just kind of say, all right, I'm going to play B flat minor, even though I know the chord is E flat minor. And you're going to immediately get those cool kind of extended sounds. So that's a trick that you can use. I've talked about that a lot in these in this whole series, so hopefully you get something out of it. It's pretty cool. So that's sort of what I'm doing up here. That's the B flat. Then I slide up to this A flat, and this begins the next chord. And that's, I mean, the chord at this moment is B flat minor 7, and that's, I'm just straight up playing B flat minor 7. There's nothing really fancy going on. I'm starting on the A flat, little pull off to the F, little chromatic pull off. Then I'm walking straight down the arpeggio, and then actually straight back up. So, and that's the beginning of the next chord right there. So this just looks from the 5 of the chord. That's F. 5, 3, 1, flat 7, 5, 3, 1, flat 7. That's a very common shape. You probably already know it, but that's all I'm doing. Then after I get here, I walk back up the arpeggio, but in this position. So I came down over here, but I'm going to come back up to the left of where I just played. So that looks like 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1. Sneak in a little 2 right there, which leads me to this note. And that note is the first note of the next chord over this D major 9. And that shape looks like this. So I'll do from the B flat. Now I'm here. And that's that shape. And that just looks like this. This is, I'm thinking D major now. So this is 7, 5, 3, 1 of D major. You can see it, 1, 3, 5, 7 right there. Then I just jump up here and do that. So I'm playing the 7, 5, 9, 7, 5 of the D major. So let me play that slow. And then at that point I come down F sharp minor 7. I've definitely talked about this, where if you're playing major and you want some of those extended sounds, and this is your root D, but go to its third, which is F sharp, and play minor. I've definitely talked about that, and that's what I'm doing here. So I know the chord is D, but I'm purposefully playing its 3 chord in my lead, so F sharp minor, and you get some kind of nice notes. So pretty common. You probably get the picture that I do this a lot, especially in the solo. It's a really easy way to just get some cool sounds. So once again, down D major, this little down. I like the phrase of that too. I kind of like that sound. So that's what's going on there. After I come down the F sharp minor 7 arpeggio, I just slide up 2 frets, and at this point the chord is now A flat minor 7. So that's exactly what I'm playing. Nothing crazy, just up the arpeggio. Right. So down the F sharp, and I do that little ending. So up the arpeggio. Kind of double this note. Just come down real fast. 7, 5, 3, 1, flat 7, 1. Okay. And then I jump back up to that note. So I'll play that slow. Alright, so I'll start it from the bottom. Okay, so once I'm here, that brings me to the next section, and I'm going to start that in a different segment. Okay, so after the A flat, ascending and sort of descending arpeggio, we start this shape. And this is an F sharp suspended shape. Let me just go over the numbers. So it would be root 5 flat 7, or excuse me, root 5 4, then 1 flat 7, then 5 4 1. So let me play all of that. So if you've ever played this shape, if you've never played this shape, it's a really good one to get down. It's a little bit of a stretch, but it's pretty comfortable. Once you get it going, and then some cool patterns like that you can do that feel really good. And that's sort of actually what I'm playing right here in the shape. And this, by the way, is all over C sharp sus 4, if you want, or sus 9, if you want to call it that. So the notes are, it's a kind of a descending little pattern, down 5 notes, then up 1 more, so it looks like this. So F sharp, C sharp, B, F sharp, E, F sharp. Then it starts over, starting on B. So that first little bit. Then it does the same thing on B. So B, F sharp, E, C sharp, B, C sharp. So I'll play those 2 separate. And then, so you can see it's the same pattern, just starting on a different note. So if I play them together, okay, then I do the same thing, just almost the same thing, ends a little bit differently. And it ends with F sharp, C sharp, B, G sharp, and then I hit the G natural right there. So that whole thing. It's the G natural. So if I play that at tempo, okay. I'm also using my fingers when I'm doing this. I'm kind of coming down. So it's a little bit of mixture of economy picking plus finger. I'll play it slow so you can just see what I'm doing. hopefully that makes sense. It's comfortable for me to do. I'm using my ring finger as well instead of my middle finger for some reason. I'm not sure. So that's that little figure. The next figure looks like this. Okay, so let me get my fingering right. I'm not really sure what fingering I should use there. But anyway, the shape is this. It's G dominant, straight up. I'm just walking root, third, 5, flat 7, root, third, 5, 6, flat 7, then 1, 2, sharp 2 or flat 3, and then 3. And then when I hit this 3, that is the B chord at that point. So it's the root of the B chord. So, and these are all triplets too. Okay. I think I like doing that. Yeah, that's what I like. So pointer, pinky, pointer, ring, slide. Then walk up. Okay. Okay. That's the G dominant. And then at this point, I'm playing this B, and that's the B chord. And I just walk down to B major arpeggio right here. Then I walk back up. Okay. I come down like this, so root 5, third, root 5, third, 1. Then I walk up 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. So instead of going here, instead of playing 5, 1 right there, I just play 5, 1 right there. So, okay. Then just walk back. And I'm walking back and hitting this A, little chromatic B, B flat A, because at this point it's now a B dominant. So I'm just playing the flat 7 of the B chord, which fits perfectly with it. Then I do that little shape, and that's just, after I hit the A, walk up E, F sharp, A, C sharp, E, then the D sharp. And that's just me playing F sharp minor over the B dominant. Very common little sort of substitution, I guess, over the B chord. So that little passage, coming up the arpeggio. Okay, then I kind of do this little shape where I'm playing a straight up B dominant arpeggio. So that's after I slide up to the D sharp, come down D sharp, B, F sharp, A, B, D sharp, okay? Then I walk up like that, as though I'm almost resolving to E minor, right? So B dominant, there's the D sharp, E, F sharp, and then I hit G. So it almost feels like I'm playing this, you know? But instead I'm playing A at that point. At this point it's an A dominant. So the rest of this lick is really straight E minor. It's the exact same thing as what I just mentioned. If you're playing a dominant, go to It's 5 and play minor, just like I was doing right here. I was playing B7, and I did this little thing right here. That's me playing B7's 5, so F sharp minor, and that's what I'm doing here. A dominant, and this whole next section is just E minor straight up. So let me play from the walking up arpeggio. Walking back, right? A little F sharp minor, then B dominant, then E minor. And this is pretty simple. It's just so G, F sharp, E, little hammer on to A, G, E. So pretty simple. This next lick is really awkward, only because the frets are so small and it's just hard to play. But it looks like this. Okay, so that lick is all E minor straight up, and it's a 5-note grouping pattern. So I'm playing, that's the first 5 note, and this is E minor, right? So there's my E minor triad. I'm playing flat 7, root, 3, 5, flat 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my 5-note pattern. Okay, and I'm doing pick, hammer on, finger, finger, hammer on. Okay, next one, and that feels like a G major 7 arpeggio, so, but I'll look at it from the perspective of E minor. It would be like 2, 3, 5, 7, and then 2 again. Play that better. So here's both of those. Okay. Doing the same exact picking or right hand stuff as well. Next one. And this is more just straight up E minor, minor 7. So 5, 7, 1, 3, 5. I think I like doing pointer, ring, middle, pointer, pinky. Okay, so let me play all of those. Okay. Then the next one, just E minor, kind of pentatonic. 1, 3, 4, 5, flat 7. Okay. Just kind of hammer on and then pick. Then I just play the 4, 5, flat 7 again. 2 times, and then just full step bend. I'm using this guitar because the Strat that I was playing, the Bluesman Vintage, doesn't have this fret, so I can't really bend to get that top note. But that's really what that is. So let me play all of that, the whole run a little slow, the whole thing. Okay. So that's really it. It's really hard to get just because the frets are so small. It feels a lot more comfortable. Like if I did it down here, that feels way more natural because I got more room to move around. Right. So that's it. I'm going to play the whole thing. Hopefully I don't screw up too much. I'm going to play the whole thing slow so you can see how everything moves. So here we go. Alright, so that is it for this section, and that is it for this entire solo. If you stuck it through all 7 videos, congratulations. Hopefully you learned something from my approach. You can kind of get an idea of how I think about things and how I put things together. The next set of videos that I'm going to do is going to be about technique, and then the next set after that is going to be about pretty much how I approach just music in general, how I approach improvising and just playing melodies and just music in general, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that. But once again, leave a comment in the comment section if you have any questions, any other questions about the solo or about any other section of the tune or really about anything. If you don't have any questions, I will see you next time. Once again, thank you very much for watching and take care.